All right, listen up. This is a Code Ninja security advisory. We've got a critical threat on the wire, operators, so let's get straight to it.
Okay, let's dive right in. I need to be crystal clear about this. This isn't some theoretical threat. No, this is live. It is in the wild. In fact, CISA has already added it to their known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. That means right now, as we speak, threat actors are actively hammering systems with this exploit.
So, just how bad is it? We're looking at a CVSS 3.1 base score of 8.8. That's a high severity rating. And here's the real kicker. It's an unauthenticated attack vector. What does that mean? It means the attacker doesn't need a username, they don't need a password, they need nothing. And that, my friends, makes it a perfect target for automated, mass-scale attacks.
So what are we actually dealing with here? It's a critical local file inclusion vulnerability, or LFI, in the Webmail Classic UI of the Zimbra Collaboration suite, specifically versions 10.0 and 10.1. An attacker from anywhere in the world without any credentials can just read files from your server. Think about that. They can just pull sensitive files right out of your web root directory. No login required. It's like leaving the front door wide open.
And that's why we're putting this advisory out. Our goal here is simple, to give you the intel you need to patch your systems, like right now. This is also about holding vendors accountable when there are gaps in security. Your defense, your action plan, it starts this very moment.
Okay, before we get into the nuts and bolts of the defense protocol, we need to do a quick comms check. It's absolutely critical that we establish a secure channel. Why? Because in this threat landscape, getting real-time intelligence isn't a luxury, it's a mission-critical necessity.
So, I need you to follow this 3-step protocol immediately. Step 1, subscribe. This makes sure you get these intel feeds in real time. Don't miss the next one. Step 2, hit that like button. Think of it as your digital signature, acknowledging you've received this advisory. And step 3, this one's important. Comment with your patch status. Just type patched or vulnerable. This helps all of us get a sense of the blast radius out there. All right, comms check complete. Let's get into the deep dive. The real question is, what's the actual blast radius here? What's the operational risk, and what are these attackers really looking for once they get in?
And the risk is frankly massive. Attackers aren't just reading random files for fun. They're using this LFI as a beachhead, a landing zone to get a foothold in your network. From there, they're exfiltrating credentials. They're stealing sensitive configuration files, anything to get that initial access. And trust me, this is just the first step. Once they're in, they pivot and burrow deeper. This is how major breaches begin.
And they know exactly what they're looking for. This isn't a smash and grab, it's a surgical strike. They're targeting the high-value files. You know, things like opt/zimbra/conf/localconfig.xml, because that's where the crown jewels are, your LDAP and SQL credentials. They're going after opt/zimbra/conf/nginx.conf looking for API keys, and yeah, they're even grabbing etc/password, just to map out the system. It's a playbook, and they're running it perfectly.
Now this timeline, wow. This is basically a case study in how things can go wrong. Check this out. Back in November 2025, a silent patch goes out to the commercial network edition users. Okay, fine. But then in December, the CVE gets published before the fix is available for the open source version. Red flag number 1. Then, on January 11th, a Nuclei exploit template is released, basically handing attackers a weapon on a silver platter. And it gets worse. On January 17th, the community figures out that the so-called fix for the open source version doesn't actually fix anything. By the 22nd, CISA confirms what we all feared: mass exploitation. This wasn't just a gap, it was a gaping wound left open for weeks.
Okay, enough about the problem, let's talk solutions. We're moving to the defense protocol. These are the concrete, actionable steps you need to take right now to secure your perimeter.
First things first, check your version number. I'll make this real simple. If you are running any version of Zimbra from 10.0 up to 10.0.17, you are vulnerable. If you're running anything from 10.1.0 up to 10.1.12, you are also vulnerable. The fix is in versions 10.0.18 and 10.1.113. You absolutely have to update.
But, and this is a huge but, you have to pay very close attention here. Not all patches were created equal in this mess. For you Network Edition users, it's straightforward. Update to 10.0.18 or 10.1.13 immediately. But for all you FOSS admins out there, listen up, this is critical. You have to verify that your 10.0.18 build includes the Pimbra community patches. Why? Because the official upstream source code from the vendor was still broken. The community had to fix it themselves.
And that whole mess with the FOSS patch brings us to the final point: the code, the ethics behind why we do these disclosures. I mean, look at this. The upstream vendor missed pushing a critical fix to the open source code for weeks. During that time, there were weaponized Nuclei templates floating around, making exploitation trivial. The community was completely defenseless. This is exactly why we practice coordinated vulnerability disclosure. Users have a fundamental right to know when they are at risk, especially when the official patch process fails them. Keeping quiet in a situation like this, that only helps the attackers.
All right, that's the briefing. This is Code Ninja, signing off. Stay secure.